welcome to WPS News. I'm Lewis.
And I'm Denzel. We're students from South High Community School.
We'd like to share some news from around the Worcester Schools district. Denzel, what do we have for our first story?
We're going to start at our own school, where we take a look at 3 career and technical education programs South High has to offer.
They include culinary arts, diesel technology, and early childhood education. Let's learn more about these programs.
South High Community School offers 3 vocational pathways: culinary arts, diesel technology, and early childhood education. Over the course of 4 years, students are exposed to a workforce environment. They will earn industry-recognized credentials and gain experience through co-ops while networking with industry professionals through guest speakers and field trips. All programs are open for application midway through 8th grade, with acceptance through a lottery system. Each program is a 900-hour, 4-year commitment. By the end of their high school careers, students will be prepared to choose a career pathway, advance their education with higher learning, or military service. South High, where learning works.
Here at South High, culinary seniors are presented with a food challenge. Over the course of the week, they are given a cultural cuisine theme, which they then come up with a recipe to present.
On Friday, the final dish gets assessed and shared amongst the school's admin. Let's see how things are heating up in the kitchen.
So the culinary program here at South is a Chapter 74 vocational program. This week the cooking challenge is Indian cuisine. The first quarter we did kind of ingredients for the students, so they have Monday and Tuesday to find a recipe and put together a grocery list, and then on Wednesday they come in and they have all the ingredients they need and they start putting it together for Friday at 1 o'clock. Admin gets to come down and they get to sample everything the students make, and they have a little rubric, and then that determines the winner.
Today I made paneer kati rolls. I've never had it before, but I want to do something different because butter chicken and tikka masala, it's like the most common Indian food, and I want to do something different because I want to open my horizons.
It gives them more skills, learning the aspects of the kitchen, how to hustle in a kitchen. You have deadlines, knife skills, and even just some different cooking techniques.
Guys, you got about 15-20 minutes. You ready?
My favorite part is the adrenaline rush. Once it's like the last day, you have to prep everything. Everyone's like locked in, everyone's focused. They're focused on getting everything ready because of the rush of time. Adrenaline rush of just running around.
And they get that kind of fast-paced environment that they don't necessarily get when they're in classes, but the seniors being the last 2 blocks of the day, they're in here, they have the time to kind of start something and be able to finish it at the same time.
If you want to be a chef, like a sous chef or something like that, this will definitely help prep you for the rush and the adrenaline of everything.
The Vietnam Veterans Memorial at Green Hill Park now has a new interactive feature thanks to the collaboration between Worcester Technical High School and Massachusetts Vietnam veterans.
Students interviewed veterans to preserve their stories. With the help of around 10 different shops, they envisioned, designed, and built the different parts of the new exhibit, along with a website to view the interviews.
Let's take a look at how these stories came to life, thanks to our students and veterans.
What a beautiful day we have to commemorate this beautiful collaboration between our children and our amazing vets.
We are here today to honor the Vietnam War veterans, the 10 who interviewed with us and told us all about their experience.
And combined with 10 different shops to memorialize our Vietnam veterans' experience in Green Hill Park at the Vietnam Memorial. Their interviews were memorialized, hosted on our website, and our construction students built a kiosk in the park and then a bunch of QR codes around that will bring visitors to the park to the interviews that they conducted with the Vietnam vets.
It's truly something special to see our school still doing things like this, getting back into the community and doing what Worcester Tech is supposed to do.
So cool about the students is, one, the communication, the technical skills, collaboration with the community, working on a project that's not only for the betterment of the community now, but for generations moving forward. And that's why we thank the Vietnam vets that volunteered their time.
We celebrated today with this kiosk and everything that it provides. I love history, but actually getting to meet the veterans and talk to them and hear their experiences was like a whole different experience, just knowing that these are the men who fought in this war that we learned about in our history books, and like it was just a surreal experience.
They participated in a project that built on their communication skills and impacted beyond our four walls of our school.
An exemplary example of what we mean when we say we want our children to be prepared for the future.
For generations to come, this project will serve its purpose by teaching students of America's history in a way that will last, and it will serve as an asset to our entire community.
This fall, South High Community School received some exciting news, along with Doherty Memorial High School and University Park Campus School.
All three schools were named to the College Board's Advanced Placement Program School Honor Roll for increasing college readiness among students. Doherty received a silver medal recognition, while South and UPCS each received bronze medal recognitions.
In 2024, all high schools in the district saw increased participation and qualifying scores in AP courses and exams, resulting in a 3-year high in both categories. Worcester Public Schools celebrated an evening of innovation, a night to honor the incredible staff and community partners who make a difference in the lives of students every day.
More than 50 school staff and community partners were honored. Here's a quick look at the celebration.
Tonight we gather not only to recognize excellence, but to honor the heart of our district, the people who make a difference every single day in the lives of our scholars. Our educators, our crossing guards, our paraeducators, wraparound coordinators, executive assistants, transportation employees, food and nutrition staff, custodians, and so many more. So let us celebrate, applaud, and honor the innovation, dedication, and excellence you bring to the Worcester Public Schools. You are the reason we can confidently say our scholars are being prepared to be future ready.
And for our last segment, let's take a look at a recurring feature called Ask the Superintendent.
For this episode, a fellow South High senior and myself discuss with Dr. Benares changes to the MCAS graduation requirement, how to bring the district together as a community, and what unconventional school subjects you might like to see taught in schools. Hello and welcome to the South High edition of Ask the Superintendent. Each episode, students from the Superintendent Student Advisory Council come up with their own questions to better get to know our superintendent, Dr. Benares. I'm Louis Scarrett, and this is
Nah.
And we're students at South High School. Our first question is,
Now that the proposal to get rid of standardized testing, such as MCAS, has been voted for, what are your thoughts on standardized tests, and do you believe the data used to improve educational outcomes rather hinders creativity in classrooms?
So, love that question. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the opportunity to sit down and speak
So
with
nice.
both
Thank
of you.
you.
Very nice to meet you, Luis. So first I want to be clear, it didn't get rid of standardized testing, it just didn't, it's now not going to be a graduation requirement, right? So you're still going to be taking the MCAS. Well, not the two of you, you're seniors.
Oh, yeah.
But the MCAS will still be in place. But it won't be held as that final piece of needing it in order to graduate. You have to earn your credits or take your courses and make sure that you demonstrate that you have earned that diploma, which is still very, very important. We want our diploma to mean something to the community, want it to mean something to universities, all of that, right? So what do I think about standardized tests? So this has been like that age-long conversation since I started in education over 30 years ago. And I believe that they have a place, but I don't believe they're the answer to everything. I believe that it is very important to make sure that children graduate high school with the ability to read anything that they pick up in the language that they know, right? So in the United States, that would be in English. Hopefully another language that we can offer as well, right? But it's that they can write and communicate in a way that is clear, concise, to share messages, that they know the fundamentals of mathematics in order to run a home. And then depending on what career they go into, they'll need to go deeper in those areas. Do I think standardized tests are the way to demonstrate that? Not necessarily. I think there are ways to show that children know how to read, and we know that at a very early age. We know, and we should expect that by the time they get to third grade, they can read and make sense of what they're reading and then learn all the content. And yet I understand that in public education, the public wants to make sure that we are serving all children. And so standardized tests give an opportunity to make sure that every child, not just some children, are being monitored to make sure that they're doing well, right? Because before that, there were kids, when I went to school, that they would get a diploma and they didn't know how to read. And that's not okay also, right? So finding a way to make that happen. To the second part of your question, though, which is kind of how I marry, I guess, the standardized test and making sure that children are reading and writing, I believe that there's more than one way to show that you understand something. And I prefer that we show that in different ways. So I believe in children showing, if this is the standard, here's pieces of work that I can show you that demonstrate I understand. You can show it in projects. You can show it in videos. There's like lots of different ways, and that taps into the creativity of the child. I know for myself, when I went to college, I'm not a good multiple test taker. I question the question too much. I want to really think about it, and then I have to think, from what perspective is this coming? And so I don't do as well, but if you give me an essay and you allow me to write about something and demonstrate that I understand, I can do much better. And I actually had to change my major in college so that I could choose a major that I could actually write about instead of having to do a multiple choice test. So I'll just say, I do think it can inhibit creativity. I think also the way that we as educators share it with children might also add to that, because we don't have to make it the only way. We can have different ways of assessing children, and I think we should, because that's what the workforce does.
Right.
That's what the workforce does.
So before our next question, might I ask, what did you originally major in that you switched?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first major, it was called social ecology, which you're like, what is that, right?
Yeah.
Well, so, I'm 18 coming out of high school, not quite sure what I wanted to do with my life, and we didn't have Chapter 74 kind of programming that we have here, so I didn't get to kind of dabble in that. So social ecology was a combination of psychology, law, and ecology. And so I thought, oh, cool, give me lots of different things that I can investigate.
Sounds interesting.
Right, it sounded very interesting, but the way that they would assess was all multiple choice. And I didn't do very well on those tests. I just didn't. So I switched to being a history major. And that one I did much better in.
Good to know.
Wonderful. Okay, so for our second question, we're going to ask, here at South High, we emphasize the aspect of community. What are your goals or ideas regarding bringing Worcester Public Schools together as a community?
Love this question, and appreciate the question as well. So when I first came to Worcester, actually as I was doing my research, I saw the slogan that I kept seeing on everything. It said, "From here, anywhere." And I was like, oh, that's nice. Like that's a nice way to let children know that wherever you start in Worcester, you can go anywhere, kind of in the world. So I added to it. I said, "From here, anywhere, together," because I firmly believe that we have to do things together as a humanity. No one does anything by themselves. Right. We might think we do, and maybe we do it for a short time, but it's very difficult to live in a world and live on your own by yourself and think that you can navigate everything and know everything. How could we possibly know everything? So I firmly believe in the concept of team and learning with and from each other. That's the phrase I use all the time. We're going to learn with and from each other. We learn with and from each other in every conversation we have. We learn with and from each other in readings we do, in experiences we have. And so for Worcester Public Schools, that's the kind of culture that I want to, with my team, because I don't do it by myself, right, permeate and help support as a district. So examples of that is the Superintendent Student Advisory. I love coming to the Superintendent Student Advisory, and it has grown. So the first year I started, I don't think you were part of it yet. It was okay, we did fine, we came together, it was okay, but it has gotten so much better because we are even more intentional with the time, right? So as we keep doing it, you're developing, the team is developing, that's really good for the district. We started a teacher advisory committee that the teachers have renamed, because they said it's not just teachers, it's our paraprofessionals, it's psychologists. They renamed it to the Educator Advisory Committee. And so they're going to be going out and gathering input from their peers and bringing it back, and all with the intent of improving Worcester Public Schools. And then we have our principal academies, and we're working with our assistant principals and our deans. Like, all teams are important. And so supporting that is extremely important as a leader, no matter in what organization, and it's something I firmly believe in.
Wow, what a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
And now for a fun question. If you could implement one unconventional subject into the school curriculum, what would it be and why?
This question, well, before we started, I said, did you guys come up with these questions, or did your teacher give it to you? And she told me, no, we came up with it. I had even asked my husband, I said, what would you do? And it's his idea. It was great. And it matches what I know that I think what our youth are looking for and what I see in you each and every day. I would really like, it would be awesome to have a course where it's student determined. So whatever your passion is, whatever your hunger is, whatever you are interested in achieving, that you get that time to go deeper in it. And you may not even know what it is yet. We could call it the course of flow, because there's this concept called flow by a researcher. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not even going to try. But the idea is when someone gets into flow, they're just in this workplace where they can just go for hours, right? And nothing stops them. They just go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Familiar with
Yeah. And so you can think of times where you're like, oh yeah, when I was hungry for this, I was passionate, and it's this right amount of giving the support for it to happen and giving enough information and letting them go deeper. So imagine some course where you can say, I really want to learn more about, and then it's the student voice, it's the student agency that decides that and guides that. I would only see this to start with at a high school for a whole course, but then projects for going through the younger grades would be pretty amazing. And what I see from your peers, and you both sitting here, is that you're very civically engaged. You want to find solutions. You want to make your local school, your city, your state, and your nation, and on a bigger scale, right, globally, a better place. And so giving you that time and space and support to do that would be pretty amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Dr. Monarez, for joining us today. We've enjoyed speaking to you. And thank you for watching the South High School edition of Ask the Superintendent.
That's it for this edition of WPS News. For South High Community School and the WPS News team, I'm Lewis.
And I'm Denzel.
From here,
Anywhere, together.